Hello, and welcome back to the Yonko Podcast predictions for Chapter 1079, whose name we do not yet know, but here we are to predict what may or may not occur, mostly what may occur in the next chapter. As always, if you guys enjoyed this content, please give us a subscribe, a comment, a like. Interact with us. We love that kind of stuff. Ring the bell for notifications when we post. Usually get 3 videos every week, and if there's a break week, potentially even more. I've got my co-host Kat here, and we're going to be doing some predicciones, which is not a Spanish word, I don't think. Sorry. But yeah, with that, let's get into those predictions. Do you want to go back and forth, or do you want me to say it, then you to say it? What do you think?
I don't.
Let's go back and forth.
Okay.
I think because it's a twofer, we can kind of go back and forth. So, Kat, how do you think next chapter goes? What's something that may occur?
I've got 3 places where I think this next chapter could go.
Trace.
Yeah. One of them being BONNEY KUMA stuff. Like, figuring
Paralleled or singular?
I would like to see paralleled, but it could be singular. That I think we get see more of BONNEY experiencing her father's memories.
Mm-hmm. See why she's weeping so much in this chapter.
Yes.
Maybe we get a little bit more information. Okay.
Yes.
Something I think could occur in next chapter, 1079. I want to cut away to the Revolutionary Army and its next move. We have not heard from Dragon, yet Dragon was on the phone with Shaka near the beginning of the arc.
And Sabo.
And Sabo getting blown away. I feel like less likely on Sabo just because I think Oda wants that to...
Wasn't he talking to Dragon at some point?
He was on the phone when the line went dead and that weapon took out Lucia. I think Oda might keep that vagueness still there. But I would like to see what Dragon's up to, what the Revolutionary Army's next move is, because they have to have one. I mean, all these Marines are moving towards Egghead. There's this massive incident coming up. He knows his son's involved. My assumption is he knows his son's involved. Yeah. He's got a lot going on, and we haven't seen any moves from the Revs. So what
he could also be worried about KUMA too, because he knows what's going on with KUMA.
Tis true. Tis true.
So my second place I think this could go is seeing a little bit of a conversation between KIZARU and SATURN.
Oh.
Pop over there and see what they're thinking and talking about on their way over.
Would love that. Anytime KIZARU talks, I'm a big fan. Next thing I think we could do is York explaining antagonistically, very much like supervillain reveals the plot, of how she did everything. And potentially us learning if anyone else was involved. So essentially, I want to know her means. And I think she might tell that to Vegapunk before executing him. Unless someone comes to save, like Atlas Punch or whatever.
Atlas, or we have
Robin.
S-Hawk. Well, S-Hawk
shows up.
We're thinking maybe, I don't think we said this in our review, is you had commented that maybe S-Hawk was going to back up York. And we have Kaku and Zoro following S-Hawk, so we could have a big rendezvous there.
Attempting to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing, too. If S-Hawk did go the same way Shaka went to get to Vegapunk, most certainly that's where, they are heading to. The hope is, right? If S-Hawk went to other people to thin the herd, all the Straw Hats are on other floors. So we really need to find out where S-Hawk went to know where Kaku and Zoro are headed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
Unless they end up trying to follow S-Hawk and make a wrong turn and end up with York anyway.
And we can't forget that was Lucci's idea, right? The bloodthirsty guy who will do kind of anything for his justice. His thought was, well, obviously he's going to go kill all the weak ones to kind of lower your morale.
Yeah.
I don't know if S-Hawk thinks that darkly. I think S-Hawk follows orders.
Yes.
We don't know what those orders are outside of get rid of CP0, get rid of the punks.
So maybe he was following Shaka to take him out.
Yes. Oh, good point.
And is still going to end up with York.
Yeah, could be.
But
because, remember, S-Bear and S-Hawk, I don't think would fight Zoro or Luffy if CP0 wasn't there. Their order is to take out CP0.
That they had the opportunity to attack Luffy and Zoro, and they were still going to the bound up CP0 agents.
Though maybe that order has changed since Sanji got involved. I mean, Edison's beat up, right? He's on the ground. But S-Shark's currently punching him in the face like a straw hat. So I don't know. I don't know if it's because he's preventing him from getting to Edison, or if S-Shark's like, you need to stop beating me up, man. I'm going to punch you. Why doesn't it work?
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. Okay.
Oh no, because that's Punk. I was like, unless it's because Sanji has Seraphim blood, but they are the Seraphims.
He might.
So
he could be close to a Seraphim if he does have the Lunardian DNA.
Yeah.
If he has the
well, I was
automations.
thinking the Punks, that the Seraphims might be confusing Sanji for a Punk somehow because of DNA makeup, but that they're potentially Seraphims.
I just had a thought. Wait. Remind me, Lunarians are invulnerable when their flame goes out?
Yeah, or they are invulnerable with the flame. Once the flame goes out, that's when their attacks will...
So if Sanji has his flame on, he could potentially be invulnerable?
Potentially.
Or maybe it's flipped, because when he attacks, he has his flame on. So maybe
Yeah.
because he's not like a 1-to-1 Lunarian like they are, because clearly he doesn't have the other attributes of them. Maybe he's most dangerous when he's attacking, but he's most invulnerable when he's not, which when he takes the punch to the face, he's not attacking. So maybe that's when he's invulnerable?
Maybe.
I don't know. The Sanji Lunarian stuff is so interesting to me.
Yeah.
Okay. My next prediction, were you next?
I think you're next.
Okay. My next prediction is Sanji gets scary like we've never seen before. I think he does some really sick move to Jinbrat and like beats him, but then like he turns and it is not the Sanji we know and love, and we leave it there. I think there is a chance for like evil Sanji to pop up, and I love that, and I would love not knowing what that is ultimately going to turn to. If he can turn it off again and he's just like kidding, or if like he actually starts like going after the Seraphim, kind of like they are going after CP0 and everyone. Would be a fun parallel, and if Vegapunk could explain why that's happening, then we might learn a little bit more about what Sanji's up to.
Yeah. I could see that happening if Nami gets attacked again. If they go for Nami again.
I agree.
Because as of right now, it seems like...
If S-Hawk shows up, right?
Yeah, if S-Hawk shows up and goes after Nami, then absolutely... Or Edison, which, since Nami's holding Edison...
that would be such a cool moment if S-Hawk broke his sword on Sanji's neck, like when Queen broke his sword. I'd be like, oh, no, Zoro. I guess Sanji's beating S-Hawk in this arc.
Yeah. That's where I would see it, because right now Sanji's like, okay, I've got this, I'm chill.
Yeah.
There's no need to go evil Sanji right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But it'd be cool. Okay, back to you.
Third place I think this could go is, I think this could pop over to Morgan's again.
Some VV and Wappool action as well?
Maybe. I'm thinking more... We know that whatever's going to happen on Egghead is going to shock the world. That we pop over to Morgan's to see what... Because he is the primary information distributor.
True.
See what he's got going on. Like, what he's been told to distribute, if anything. Or if he has any ideas of how he's going to word things. Like, how he's going to spin this event.
True. Yeah, definitely.
Which, in turn, might bring up, like... Vivi might find out, oh, the Straw Hats are there. This is my chance to join the crew.
To rejoin, yeah. That'd be good.
Maybe.
and she gets there because her duck can swim, too.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't remember.
What's the duck's name? Karu?
Maybe?
That's Hattori. No. I think it's Karu. Karu?
Karu.
It is Karu, yeah. If Karu can swim, I feel like I remember a scene where Karu can't swim, but maybe it's learned to swim. That's its training arc. Karu can swim. Okay, no, I like it. I like going back to Morgan's. The next thing for me is a Garp update and possibly a KUMA update, singular without Bonnie. Since we got one with Bonnie this episode, I think it would make sense that we pop over to KUMA, experiencing something on that side. Very short, not a long thing. Like just Bonnie crying in this one, KUMA maybe makes it to the top of the red line, and you're like, oh, and then it cuts away, like a quick cut.
And I could see a Garp update, like just
to see where he's actually going.
If he's gonna stop by Egghead just to pop in and say hi,
or if he's arriving to full ahead and he's like, alrighty then, give me my pink-haired boy. He's actually Big Mom's son. That's why he has pink hair. Ah!
Yeah.
That could be fun. The final thing that I think could happen next chapter, and this is where I'll leave it. First Islanders leave on those boats that Tomorrow was talking about, and the first Islanders die.
Yeah.
And we don't know the source. I think it'd be cool if that was kind of how the whole Navy being there would arrive. It's like, oh shit, they're here. But I could also see it like one of the KUMAs that Sentomaru like told to surround the island was the one that did it, where you're like, wait, they were Sentomaru, wait.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh shit, York now has control of all of them if they also follow the same hierarchy as the Seraphim. And you're like, shit. And then Sentomaru just sees all of the Islanders running back and he's like, no, oh god! That would be tough.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, shoot, now we've got to deal with all the PXs. We have to deal with the Seraphim, the York Trader. That'd be a pretty chaotic chapter, and then that's where we'd leave it.
Yeah.
Anything else, Kat?
No, I don't.
So many things.
Yeah, there's so many things.
So many potential cutaways, dude.
So I don't think we're gonna cut away to Shanks' kid anytime soon. I think that was just a small little update, like, hey, this is happening, and that's gonna stay on the back burner for a while. I could maybe.
Can I ask you something? Do you think there is a way the kid wins?
I don't foresee that happening because that would mean Shanks would have to lose. And I don't foresee Shanks losing unless it's a draw. That Shanks is like, you know what, I'm just gonna peace out, this isn't worth my time.
I completely agreed with you a little bit ago. I completely agreed with you. Now I'm pausing because I'm like, wait. And this, I'm gonna give Brock a point here, or Burke, whoever, which one of you guys fucking said this shit to me. You're like, what if Blackbeard shows up when Kid and Shanks are fighting and he goes room, right? What if he walks up and does that shit and you're like, wait! Because, look, I think for a long time we've said Shanks is a tragic character. He's this guy that Luffy's been working towards his entire life. You know, like, this is the biggest deal for him to get back to him. The one person who could fuck this up is Blackbeard, who we know is going to have some kind of standoff with Shanks at a certain point. And does it not make sense that Blackbeard's the guy who takes advantage of chaos that Kid creates, and almost in a way where he is also going to work with, like, Kid, much like Kid worked with Luffy to take down a Yonko. He's like, ha ha ha! Captain Kid! Let's work together!
I don't think Kid would go with that.
Do you think Kid's not evil enough to do that?
No.
You think he does? Because I don't think he has anything against Blackbeards personally. And if he's a means to defeating Shanks, who he fucking hates, right?
Yeah,
I want to believe Kid wouldn't do it too. Believe me, I do.
I also think Luffy's been through way too much heartbreak.
True.
But I don't think that one's gonna be, at least not, if it's gonna happen, I don't think it's yet.
What, confirming Law is dead and Blackbeard's here to fuck up Shanks off screen, essentially?
I don't
I hope not too.
I don't think we're gonna lose Shanks.
I don't think we lose Shanks, but I think there is a potential there for Shanks not to win that fight. And I think that'd be rough.
With everything else going on right now,
yeah,
I don't think that is a possibility. Like, I don't think, or a probability. Okay. It's possible, I don't think it's probable.
Do you think it's do you think Kid v Shanks is a simple one-on-one? Because I can't think of a reason, like, Kid would just, come on! Just storm straight up to the land of the giants that's clearly
I can see why Kid would do it, because it's Kid.
It is Kid. He did run up on Kaido like that.
So that's why I think he would do it, and he thinks that he has the upper hand because he's already fought Shanks once.
Has he learned?
But, like,
he lost an arm! Which I think...
He does have a lot of a Luffy mentality.
He does.
Where he's just goes full bore without thinking things through.
Yeah, he's not a
He's
Law
not the
type.
Law. No.
Because Law, like, literally had the upper hand against Blackbeard for a little bit there. And still, we don't even know if he really lost or not.
Yeah.
My hope is he didn't. Kid's not the same with the mental capacities,
I
man.
I think it would be very tragic if Law did lose and we see Blackbeard say room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, because that would leave way too many loose ends.
Oh my god.
For Law.
Oh my god, yeah.
I don't know. I
but
don't
yeah,
see that happening.
Law's tragic. So is Robin. These are tragic characters.
But we also have Weevil Marco.
We do.
Too. That
We have Marco's decision maybe to help Bakken get her kid back, I guess. Or go to Egghead to prove that he is white. I don't know what Marco... Like, you know, put yourself in Marco's shoes, right? He comes back home, and he's like, why is everything destroyed? And then the kids are like, no, Marco, there was this big ugly guy who looked like Whitebeard. He saved the day. And Marco's like, oh, yeah, that's great. And then he's like, who are you? You gotta help me get my kid back who saved your village, Marco. He's like, who is he? He's Whitebeard's son. Huh. Why do people keep coming here telling me about Whitebeard's son? Why? Nekamamushi was just here. I went to what? Now gotta... Like, do you think Marco, like, needs to verify that? Or do you think he's just gonna take the fight to Ryukyogu and free Weevil for Bakken? I mean, he's a good guy. Don't get me wrong, he is a good guy, but... You know?
Yeah,
Man's trying to retire.
Unless he knows something that we don't. Unless he knows that Whitebeard's DNA was taken for clones.
Remember Nekamamushi in his conversation, where Nekamamushi's like, so is this Weevil kid Whitebeard's, right?
Yeah.
Marco's like, all I know is Whitebeard and Bakken used to be on the same crew. Remember, Bakken was on the same crew as Edward Newgate when they were under Rocks. She was a former Rocks member before going and being a part of Mads and him going and becoming Whitebeard, right?
So it could be that
he knows that they have a history, but if he's actually his kid, he's like, I don't know, Yui. Pops doesn't talk about it. I didn't ask Pops, so... But you're right.
You would think that if it was actually Whitebeard's son, with how big he is on family...
Oh, yes. Certainly.
That
he
unless
might go
something weird happened.
Right.
Like, it would have had to been something major for Whitebeard to not be in his son's life.
This is true.
So unless he's a clone or he doesn't know about his son.
But Bakken also brings up Vegapunk when they chat, right? She also goes, just ask Vegapunk. So does Marco go and talk to Vegapunk first?
I think that is possible. That's how Marco could come in and save the day. And that would further explain Weevil being Whitebeard's clone.
Man, I would love to see Kizaru and Marco clashing again, just like at Marineford, but at Egghead this time. That would be so dope. That'd be so dope. And
I feel like Marco might end up just, while he will always be a Whitebeard pirate, he might end up being an honorary Straw Hat.
He is in my mind. I love the man.
The fact that he keeps, like, there's ways for him to keep coming back to aid Straw
Oda
Hats.
keeps presenting it to him. And look, fans...
And also Whitebeard did command his crew to take care of Luffy, so...
take care, do not let Luffy, Ace's younger brother die, right? That was his final order. So Marco's over here like,
So if he ends up finding out about Egghead and that Luffy's there, he might end up just popping over and be like, I need to talk to Vegapunk anyway.
Yeah. He could also maybe save Weavile, and then they all go to Vegapunk, and they're just dropped in the middle of this shitstorm. And he's like, how does this keep happening, Yoi? What the... Luffy again! Zoro, what is that, buddy? Kizaru, let's fight! I love it, but I'm also like, yo, are you gonna retire, Marco? Look,
if he were able to, I think he would, but life keeps happening to poor Marco.
Pulling him back, and
honestly, I don't think he truly wants to retire. He might, but I think he's one of those types that would miss the action.
I think he's a little bit younger than Shanks, which just, in my opinion, means, he definitely could join, Shanks' crew.
And that'd be interesting because he has more experience if he helps mentor Chopper, too.
Totally. I mean, the Doctor Trio. I want Law, Marco, and Chopper all to be in a room together sometime. Just having a good chat,
Yeah.
Sharing that doctor advice.
Yeah.
But yeah, enough about Marco and our predictions for 1078. Maybe Marco will show up. We certainly have no idea what that man's thinking ever. But he will be helpful in some way, shape, or form. So
I think so too.
thank you guys so much for watching the content, liking, subscribing, and leave us a comment to your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen in 1079? Let us know. Let us talk to you. Let us chat with you about the thoughts and things. I'm Alex.
I'm Kat.
And this has been the Yonko Predictions 1079. We'll see you for the actual chapter 1 week's time.
Foxy for the week.
Why?
I have to keep it up. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Okay, bye.
Bye.